Hello and welcome to Oweleke TV News. I am Antonia Mwokolo. The news headlines. Obi says Tinubu's government lacks rational economic thinking. Northern senators extend gratitude on ECOWAS' move to lift sanctions on Niger. On the foreign scene, Donald Trump defeats Nikki in her home state. And in sports, Super Falcons hold hosts Cameroon in 2024 Paris Olympics Qualifier. Welcome back. Now the news in details. The Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, has criticised the recent attacks on the Bureau de Change operators in various urban centres across Nigeria by government agencies. The former governor of Anambra State said the move is ill-advised and misdirected, warning that such actions will escalate and worsen the country's exchange rate situation. In a post on X, Obi emphasised the BDCs are not the primary suppliers of foreign exchange, nor do they create demand. According to Obi, the key to strengthening the currency lies in transitioning Nigeria from a consumption-focused economy to a production-oriented one, especially in export-led production. Additionally, he underscored the need to combat corruption, saying it allows unproductive money to compete for the available supply of foreign currency. In a heartfelt display of appreciation, the Northern Senators Forum extends its gratitude to the leaders of the Economic Community of West African States, that is ECOWAS, for their principled stance in lifting sanctions imposed on Niger Republic. The resolute action lauded by the NSF signifies a beacon of hope for regional solidarity and diplomatic triumph. Following the military upheaval in Niger Republic on July 26, 2023, ECOWAS swiftly imposed sanctions, prompting mixed reactions across the bloc. However, ECOWAS's recent decision to lift these sanctions underscores a commitment to dialogue, cooperation, and the restoration of stability. In a statement released through Senator Suleiman Kawu, Publicity Secretary of the NSF, the Northern Forum expresses profound appreciation for ECOWAS's responsiveness to their collective appeals. The NSF commends ECOWAS for its compassionate approach, emphasizing the humanitarian and strategic significance of lifting sanctions on Niger Republic. The NSF believes that ECOWAS's decision exemplifies a dedication to regional solidarity and respect for human rights. By restoring electricity, opening borders, and lifting sanctions, ECOWAS paves the way for humanitarian relief, economic rejuvenation, and enhanced regional integration. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo said over 80% of Nigeria's crude oil was stolen. Obasanjo stated this in Abuja at the launching of a book titled Court and Politics, written by Dr. Umar Ado, a former associate of the ex-vice president Atiku Abubakar. According to the former president, one of the reasons why Nigeria's economy is in ruins is that while other oil-producing countries have records of their oil production, Nigeria cannot account for hers due to theft. Obasanjo, who was represented by a former governor of Niger State, Babangida Aliyu, said crude oil theft is one of the reasons the Nigerian economy would be in ruins. The former president said while the crude oil quota is about 2 million barrels per day, over 1.7 million are stolen. On whether Nigeria should go back to the parliamentary system, Obasanjo said there is nothing wrong with the presidential system, adding that Nigerians do not play by the rules. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against Nigeria's governors and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, over their failure to account for the alleged missing 40 trillion naira federal government allocations meant for local governments in the states and the FCT. The suit follows a revelation by former President Muhammadu Buhari, who in December 2022 stated that if the money from the Federation account to the state is about 100 million, 50 million naira will be sent to the chairman, but he will sign that he received 100 million naira. The chairman will pocket the balance and share it. In the suit filed last Friday at the Federal High Court, Abuja, Serap asked the court to direct and compel the governors to publish details of local government allocations and actual disbursement of the allocations to local governments in their respective states from 1999 to date. Serap asked the court to compel and direct Wike to publish details of federal allocations meant for the area councils in the FCT and the actual disbursement of the allocations to the area councils in the FCT from 1999 to date. The group argued that the Nigerian Constitution as amended, the Freedom of Information Act, and the African Charter on Human and People's Rights impose transparency obligations on the governors and Wike to publish the details of local government area allocations and actual disbursement in their states and the FCT. According to Serap, it is in the public interest and the interest of justice to grant this application. It stated that Nigerians are entitled to their constitutionally and internationally recognized human rights to information. Serap also noted that transparency in the actual disbursement and spending of federal allocations meant for local government is fundamental to increase accountability, prevent corruption, and build trust in democratic institutions. The Central Bank of Nigeria, led by Yemi Kadoso, has said that foreign exchange sellers to borrow the change of the equivalent of $10,000 and above are required to declare their forex sources. The CBN stated this in a revised regulatory framework to curtail excesses of BDCs and check uncertainty in the foreign exchange market. According to the Apex Bank, sellers would also be required to comply with all anti-money laundering, combating the financing of terrorism regulations, and foreign exchange laws and regulations. The CBN noted that the guidelines would significantly enhance the regulatory framework for the operation of BDCs as part of ongoing reforms of the Nigerian foreign exchange market. The Apex Bank also stated that the guidelines revises the permissible activities, licensing requirements, corporate governance, and AML-CFT provisions for BDCs. The guidelines specified that BDCs may source foreign currencies from tourists, returnees from the diaspora, expatriates with foreign exchange inflows from work, travel, investment, or their domiciliary accounts, residents with foreign exchange inflows from work, travel, investment, or their domiciliary accounts, and international money transfer operators. Others are embassies, hotels that are authorized buyers of foreign currencies, the Nigerian foreign exchange market, and any other source that the CBN may specify. The guidelines also specify that customers may transfer foreign currencies from their individual domiciliary accounts with Nigerian banks to BDCs. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has urged the Nigerian Labour Congress to shelve their proposed nationwide protest. On February 16, the NLC announced a nationwide protest scheduled for February 27 and 28 in response to the economic challenges facing the country. This decision followed the conclusion of a 14-day ultimatum issued to the federal government regarding the widespread hardship. However, in a letter addressed to the Council for the NLC, Femi Falana, dated February 23, 2024, Fagbemi reminded the NLC of a subsisting order restraining the union from embarking on any industrial action. Fagbemi in the letter said it was not in doubt that the planned protest was designed to compel the government to concede to the demands of organized labor, adding that such action qualified as an industrial action that comes within the ambit of the restraining order, which he said had neither been stayed nor set aside and therefore remains binding. The AGF further noted that the government had substantially met the demands of the union as contained in the Memorandum of Understanding entered with the NLC. Up next are stories on the foreign scene after the break.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. On the foreign scene, Donald Trump is one step closer to the Republican presidential nomination after a massive win over Nikki in South Carolina. The former president won his primary opponent's home state by a 20-point margin, his fourth consecutive victory. As he celebrated, Trump made no mention of Nikki Haley, who vowed to stay in the race. Instead, he set his sights on the general election in November. That will be a likely rematch with his successor in the White House. Nikki Haley, who once served as a popular two-term governor of South Carolina, congratulated her opponent on his victory in her speech. She promised not to quit, however, saying the roughly 40% of the vote she received was not some tiny group. The Trump campaign dismissed Haley's continued effort in a statement, stating that her delusion is clouding her judgment and she is no longer living in reality. The Trump campaign had predicted the former president will accumulate enough delegates to formally clinch the nomination within the next month. In entertainment, Omowumi, wife of the late Mohbad, has revealed that she knows a lot about the singer's death, but for bullies who are stopping her from speaking. Mohbad died in mysterious circumstances on September 12. He was buried the next day. The 27-year-old singer's body was exhumed by police on September 21st for an autopsy. The circumstances surrounding his death have continued to spark controversies. Omowumi revealed on social media that she's been silenced by industry bullies over the singer's death. She stated that she feels helpless since she's continually bullied by those having a stake in the situation. She also spoke about the DNA test Mohbad's father, Joseph Aloba, had been holding out for to determine the paternity of Liam, Mohbad's son. According to her, the issue brings her tears and pains, as never for once did her husband question the paternity of their son during his lifetime. And in sports, the Super Falcons on Sunday made a goalless draw with hosts Cameroon in the Paris Olympics qualifier played in Douala. The return leg will be played in Abuja on Monday, with the overall winners advancing to a final playoff against the winners of another third-round tie between South Africa and Tanzania for a place at this year's Olympics. Reigning African champions South Africa won 3-0 in Tanzania in the first leg. However, the officiating by Uganda Shamira Nabada was poor, with everything now to play for by both teams at the MKO Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. And just before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Obi says Tinubu's government lacks rational economic thinking. Northern senators extend gratitude on ECOWAS' move to lift sanctions on Niger. On the foreign scene, Donald Trump defeats Nikki Haley in her home state. And in sports, Super Falcons hold hosts Cameroon in 2024 Paris Olympics qualifier. And that's the package on our news bulletin. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms at Oweleketv. Our website is www.oweleke.tv. I am Antonia Nwokolo. Thank you for watching.